everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to create Mailchimp member on Cognito Forms submission. So I am an owner of a real estate agency and using Cognito Forms, I have created a form with the help of which I collect my leads data and their inquiries that they have. Here what I want is that as soon as whenever they lead, a new form submission is going to be done with the help of the form that I've created using Cognito Forms. Automatically, I want to create that lead as a member in my Mailchimp account. Now, creating these members manually after the new form submission is done is going to be very time consuming. So what I've done is I've simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build a connection between Cognito Forms and Mailchimp with the help of it. So if you also want to learn about this amazing automation process step by step, for that let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to create Mailchimp member on Cognito Forms submission. So as an owner of a real estate agency, I use Cognito Form to collect clients' information such as their property preferences and contact details through online forms embedded on my website. On the other hand, I use Mailchimp to engage with these potential clients by sending personalized email campaigns about new property listings, market updates, and exclusive offers. The problem that I faced was manually transferring the data from Cognito Forms to Mailchimp. It was time consuming and prone to errors. So to solve this, I've set up an automation that instantly creates a new Mailchimp member every time a new client submits the form using Cognito Forms. This ensures that my leads are automatically added to my email marketing list, enabling me to send timely and relevant updates. And I'm going to create this amazing automation between Cognito Forms and Mailchimp with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign into our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see all the applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow here, I'm going to give it as Create Mailchimp Member on Cognito Forms Submission. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow, okay? After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select Cognito Forms Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Create Mailchimp Member on Cognito Forms Submissions, and you can see there are two windows in front of you. One says Trigger, other says Action. So what is Trigger and Action? Trigger and Action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two principles. Over here, Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this. That means what is Action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Cognito Form. Cognito Forms is an online tool that helps us to create forms to collect information easily, whether it's a contact form, survey, event registration, or order form. Cognito Forms make it easy to design and share forms without needing of any technical skills. And using Cognito Forms, I have created a form with the help of which I collect my leads data and the properties that they prefer. With the help of which I collect my leads data. Here what I want is that as soon as a new form submission is going to be done by the lead using Cognito Forms, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response of that. That is why for my trigger, I'm going to select it as Cognito Forms. And for the trigger event, I'm going to select as New Entry. As whenever a new form submission is going to be done using Cognito Forms, automatically over here, Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that. Now, in order to do that, we have to build a connection between Cognito Forms and Pabbly Connect. For that, Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help help of this unique webhook URL, we are going to build a connection between Cognito Forms and Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the head desk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first simply copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, I'm going to open my form that I've created using Cognito Forms. So this is the form that I've created in the name of Property Inquiry Form. And using this form, I collect the data of my leads. Now what I want is I want to connect this form to Pabbly Connect. For that, in the form settings, you can see right over here from the option it says post JSON data to a website. I'm going to toggle this button on right here. Under these, there are 3 fields from which you have to select submit entry point. And in this field, I'm going to enter the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. After entering the endpoint, I'm going to save the changes that I've created by clicking on the save button right here. As the changes are been now saved, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my workflow and scroll down. It is saying waiting for webhook response. So now to check whether Cognito Forms is connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the test submission of this form that I've created using it. And after doing the test submission, I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the test submission being done or not. Okay. So now what we are going to do is we are going to do the test submission of this form. For that, I'm going to click on this publish button right here. After coming to publish, this is the link of this form. I'm going to copy this link from here and open this link in a new tab right here. As you can see, this is the form that I've created. Now I'm going to do the test submission with the help of this form. Firstly, it is asking for my lead's first name. So the first name over here, I'm going to write it as Smart. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as Lead. For the email over here, I'm going to write it as smartlead45@pabblytudes.com. And for the phone number over here, I'm going to enter a dummy mobile number right here. Okay. After that, it is asking for the property type. I want the property type to be residential property. So I'm going to select this property type right here. And for the city over here, I'm going to select it as Pune. Okay. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on the submit button right here to do the test submission. It says thank you for filling out the form. As now the form submission is done successfully, I'm going to open my workflow and scroll down. And yes, you can see right over here, Pabbly Connect has captured the response. It says type of property comes as residential property, first name as Smart, last name as Lead. This is the phone number right over here. And if I'm going to further scroll down, the email comes as smartlead45@pabblytudes.com with the city as Pune. As the response is captured over here in our trigger, this means that Cognito Forms has now been connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. Now, whenever a new form submission is going to be done by the lead using Cognito Forms, automatically and instantly Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that. After setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. Here, my objective is that as soon as by the lead the form submission is going to be done using Cognito Forms, I want to add that lead as a member in my Mailchimp account. So for that, we're going to set up our action step. And for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as Mailchimp. Mailchimp is an online marketing platform that helps businesses to connect with their customers through email and other marketing tools. It's best known for creating and sending email campaigns such as newsletters, promotions, or updates to targeted list of subscribers. And I want to create a member in my Mailchimp account. And for that, what we're going to do is we are going to select our action application as Mailchimp. And for the action event, I'm going to select it as add new member with custom fields. Okay. After selecting the action application and the event, I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection that you have. Okay. After that, it is asking for the token and the data center. With the help of these details, we're going to build a connection between Mailchimp and Pabbly Connect. So from where are we going to have these details? For that, follow the steps given here below in the help desk. Okay. For having the token, log into your Mailchimp account. This is my Mailchimp account right here. And to have the token, from the top right corner, click on this icon right here. From the given options, I'm going to go to profile right over here. After coming to profile over here, I'm going to click on this extras, and over here it says API keys. I'm going to select this option right here. As you can see, I'm going to land towards the API keys section. After landing towards the API keys section, if I'm going to scroll down, you can see these are all the keys that I've created in my Mailchimp account. If I'm going to scroll down right here, we are going to create a new API key. For that, I'm going to click on this create a key button right here. It is asking for the name of the API key. For that, I'm going to give the name of my key as testing key. Okay, this is the key. I'm going to generate the key from here. This is the key right here. So I'm going to copy this key from here and I'm going to paste this key right over here. Okay. After that, it is asking for the data center. For that, I'm going to go back to my Mailchimp account. This is my Mailchimp account. In the URL next to this .admin is the data center, that is US6. So I'm going to copy this data center from this URL right here and I'm going to paste it right over here in my workflow. And then I'm going to click on this submit button right here. As you can see that Mailchimp has now been successfully connected to Pabbly Connect. After that, it is asking for us to choose the audience list. I've created a single list in the name of Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to select that list over here in which I want to create a new member in. After that, it is asking for the email and all the other details of the member that we want to create in our Mailchimp account. So for the data of these fields, what we are going to do is we are going to map the data. What is mapping? Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So I'm going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. And how mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, this was the previous step of this workflow, that is Cognito new entry. That is Cognito Forms new entry. As I'm going to click on it, this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. It is asking for the email address of the member that you want to create. As I want to create this lead as a member in my Mailchimp account, so for the data of this field, I'm going to select the email address from my previous response. I'm going to select the data right over here from my previous response. As I selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I map the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this map data, okay? After that, it is asking for the tags, which I do not require, so I'm going to skip the part. For the selected status, over here, I'm going to select it as subscribed, as we're going to create a new subscriber, that's a member. After that, it is asking for the interest groups. I do not require the field, so I'm going to skip the part. Similar for the company and the designation, I do not require them, so I'm going to skip the part. For the first name over here, I'm going to map the data of the first name of my lead that I've received, first name right here. For the last name, I'm going to map the data of the last name that I've received right here. It is asking for the phone number, so I'm going to map the data of the phone number that I've received right over here, okay? And next, it is asking for the phone and the sign up, which I do not require the field, so I'm going to skip the part. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to simply click on this Save and Send Test Request button. As I've done that, you can see we have received a response in which we have received the ID, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my Mailchimp account. This is my Mailchimp account. I'm going to refresh this page from here. As I've refreshed the page, you can see right over here, new member has been added in my Mailchimp account in the name of Smart Lead, with the email address as smartlead45@pabblytudes.com and a dummy mobile number. As the subscriber has now been successfully added in my Mailchimp account, this means that we have successfully created an automation between Cognito Forms and Mailchimp with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of a real estate agency and using Cognito Forms, I collect the data of my leads. Over here in my trigger, I've selected as Cognito Forms a new entry, as whenever a new form submission is going to be done by the lead using Cognito Form, automatically in the trigger, the response is going to be captured. And for the action, I've selected as Mailchimp and add new member with custom fields, as whenever a new form submission is going to be done by the lead, that lead is going to be added as a subscriber in my Mailchimp account as a member, okay? And for that, I've created this amazing automation between Cognito Forms and Mailchimp with the help of Pabbly Connect. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.